All right, Coach, if you could maybe just start us off with the opening statement, what you saw out there today, then we'll take questions.
Well, it's a pretty rare game when you score on defense and get that many turnovers to not be able to find a way to win. But we just couldn't muster up much offensively. We couldn't get much stability. We did hit on a couple big plays, but we just couldn't muster up enough with where we're at right now to keep going. So I did tell the team that their effort was unbelievable. For them to continue to go out and fight, and defensively when they had their back against the wall and to strip the ball away from them a couple times, I mean, that's really, really hard to do, particularly when the offense knows that you're trying to do it. So I told the players that we asked them to compete, and they competed. Man, I was fired up about their effort, and we've got to do a better job of trying to find a way to stop the other team from getting big plays. I mean, we're playing really good defense, but we're giving up 2 or 3 big plays each game, which is allowing them to score points on us. So we've got to work hard to try to minimize big plays. And then, we just kind of have to take what we have offensively and try to work it and find a way to move the ball and score a few more points consistently.
Maybe connected to the big plays, how impactful do you think it was to lose Trey Sterling and Rodarius Williams for long slow?
It's more difficult. I mean, it's obviously it's difficult. We got other guys in there, but when you lose guys like that, it's not going to be as easy. The other guys came in and competed hard, made it a little more difficult.
All right, now we'll take questions. Our first question is going to come from Frank Bonner from the Tulsa World. Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Mike, what did you think of Amon's performance and what he was able to do out there on the field today?
I mean, from the sideline, it looked like his effort was unbelievable. I see he had 12 tackles, and he's been tremendous for us this year in what he's accomplished. His effort, his leadership's been awesome, and you're right on. He worked his butt off and competed throughout the game.
And what did you think about how Dezmon played in his?
I can't hear you. Sounds like they're chopping wood out here or something. Hang on. I'll have to wait till they're done with that because I can't hear you.
Hey, while we're waiting, I'm just going to drop in this piece of information about Amon. His 3 forced fumbles today is a new school record. The previous record was 2, so he set a school record today.
Okay, go ahead now. They're done. What's that?
I was asking, what did you think about how Dezmon played in his second game starting?
It looked like he played pretty good. I thought he got downhill. I thought he made some cuts. I know he competed. So I felt good about him. I haven't even looked. Yeah, he had 118 yards, over 4 yards a carry. We would like to be 4.5, but I'm pleased with what he's bringing to the table. The other thing you got to remember is, so we had 76 plays. I think he was in all 76 plays. And that's extremely hard to do for a skill guy, particularly a running back. So I'm very pleased with what he's bringing to the table.
Our next question is going to come from Chris Becker from the Ocala. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Coach. You guys forced those 5 turnovers that you talked about, but you only scored 6 points off of them. How difficult is it to win a game when you aren't capitalizing on those plays?
I'm only getting part of what you said. I mean, it's say it again now.
So you got how difficult is it to win a game and compete offensively when you guys force 5 turnovers but only score 6 points off of them?
Well, it's real hard. That's what I said earlier. Is we're going to have to find a way with our availability offensively to muster some more consistency to where we can stay on the field a little longer, because I was really concerned about us coming off the field fast and leaving the defense on the field. But, it's what I said in my opening statement. Our defense was unbelievable about forcing turnovers. Offensively, we couldn't get enough stuff going right now.
Right. How do you think the O-line played today?
Looked like okay. Again, it's really hard for me to tell on the sideline. It's a little unfair. I can see some things, but not a lot. So I would have to comment on that on Monday.
Thanks, Coach.
Our next question is going to come from Barry Trammell from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Mike, when you're sort of referring to your offensive limitations, what was the general game plan today?
Limitations with the offensive game.
What's that?
Limitations with the offensive game plan going into today.
Okay, so you said limitations, Barry, with
Well,
injury?
I said you've got some limitations on offensively you
Right.
referred to. What was your game plan going in today, and what were you hoping to get done?
Well, we don't change a lot. You know, we want to try to stay balanced. That's what we have to do. We're young at tackle right now, so we're not just going to become a throwing team. And then because we don't have a lot of depth at running back right now, we can't just become a running team. So we want to try to stay balanced as possible. And then as the game goes on, try to get a feel for what we think is working and try to lean in that direction. And then obviously try to keep them off balance is what they're doing defensively.
Is this effectively eliminates you from the Big 12 championship game? How disappointing is it? This was a team that seemed like early in the season capable of doing big things.
Well, I don't think we're the same team we were when we started the first game. I mean, we got some young kids out there. We're playing with 3 freshmen on the offensive line. We're down 6 starters on offense from day one. So it's not fair to say to the team that it's the same group. Now, we're going to compete our ass off and try to win every game, but we're a little different team right now than we were when we started against Tulsa.
Our next question comes from Scott Wright from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Scott.
Mike, was there something in particular that you thought you'd be able to do today offensively that you couldn't do?
No, I don't think so.
How did you feel Sanders held up and performed in his decision making?
I thought he was pretty good. Again, a lot of evaluation on him comes from watching video because we can't see the field like he can. So, you kind of have to watch that and make that decision on Monday based on what's happening in the secondary on both sides of the field.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Barry Trammell from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Mike, how limited were you with the kicking unit? I think maybe you left 8 points on the field on your place kicks today. How shorthanded are you there?
Well, we're not the same team as we were. There's no question. Sometimes you're going to miss a field goal, but we have to be able to kick extra points. And we got behind the 8 ball. We started off early. We got a chance to jump up, and we start missing extra points. Now we go into 2-point conversions. Play calling's different, so it's new for him. I mean, it's first time he's been out there. He jumped out there in OU and was really successful. Wasn't as successful last week, and then obviously was not very good today. But he's the guy that's kicking for us, and so we have to continue to work with him, and we have to believe in him. But the kicking game is very important. We were really, really good today in special teams, with the exception of being really, really poor in kicking PATs and field goals.
All right, Coach, well, that'll do it for questions. Is there any points that you wanted to make while we have everybody here? Anything that you want to just leave us with?
I'm good. We got to get our guys rallied. I told the guys that I really appreciated. They had a lot of fight and competed all the way to the end. And I was really proud of the way they fought and tried to give themselves a chance to win in the end. So that part I was really excited about. Got to do a better job of coaching. Got to try to find ways to limit big plays on defense and try to find ways to put together some drives on offense next week. Thank you all.
Coach, thanks for your time. Safe trip home. Brock, it was a physical one out there today. What did you see? What was it like from your perspective?
They're a tough football team. They run the ball hard. quarterback's got some wheels. He's hard to catch. We knew that coming in, but as a defense, we made some mistakes down the stretch there. And I know that everyone wants to blame it on the offense and all that stuff, but we signed up to make stops when they need to be made, and at the end of the day, we didn't make those stops.
What was some of the dialogue like in the locker room? What was the conversations kind of going on between coaches and players and players and players? Kind of what was that like?
I'm going to keep that one in the locker room.
Okay. All right, members of the media, if you have a question for Brock Martin, please click raise hand. Our first question is going to come from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Brock. Can you kind of walk us through that fumble return?
Pretty sure they ran some sort of counter play. I saw some linemen pulling towards me. I did what I was supposed to do, what Joe Bob teaches me to do. I cut them, got up, turned around, saw the ball on the ground, picked it up, started running, held my breath, couldn't breathe. Never really had the ball in my hands before. But it doesn't happen often for a guy like me. So I'm just blessed that I got that opportunity.
Is there what level of frustration is there that you guys get 5 turnovers and that's the only points you get?
That's the way it is sometimes.
On the strips, what are you guys doing so well in practice? You think that you're able to get so many strips today?
We practice it every day. Every single day. If we wrap someone up and we don't try to strip it out, coaches start yelling, screaming, strip the ball, strip the ball, strip the ball. So it's a thing that we've done since Coach Knowles got here. So we keep practicing that stuff, and it pays off for days like this.
Awesome. Thanks, Brock.
Our next question comes from Joseph Fazio from the O'Colly. Go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah, Brock, you had the fumble recovery today too, and had 3 forced fumbles. Can you just talk about, how big his game was today?
Who?
Amen.
Amon?
Yep.
Amon's he's a hell of a football player. He's always has been since I got here. He plays hard, and he doesn't have any quit in him. So when you need big plays to be made, and Amon made them today.
All right, thanks, Brock.
Our next question comes from Barry Trammell from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Brock, you guys basically eliminated from the Big 12 championship game today. What's the level of disappointment or frustration that what looked like it had a chance to be a really special season has now gone out of your grasp?
It's never fun losing. We had the goal of winning the Big 12 championship and all that stuff, but sometimes your goals fall out of reach, and you just got to keep working. We still got Baylor next week, and we're still going to try to win that game. They're tough at home. I don't think we've beaten Baylor at McLean Stadium since they built it. So we're going to have to go in with some pride and win that game. Disappointments, they come. It's an up and down roller coaster. Disappointments come and go. When you win, it's good. You lose, it's always disappointing. And unfortunately, a game like this, or a sport like this, those do come and go.
You guys had a bunch of big plays, but TCU had a bunch of big plays against you. What's the balance between creating a bunch of turnovers, but also giving up a bunch of big plays?
We just got to stop the big plays. Texas Tech did the same thing. We ended up winning that one, but at the end of the day, you got to stop the big plays, and they made them. And, that's it, man.
All right, Brock, thank you for your time. We appreciate you. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, having Tylen come up hurt there in the third quarter, been nice to have him in the fourth quarter, but how does that change things for you and what's available to you from a play calling standpoint to not have two out there in the fourth quarter?
Well, it was big. I mean, they could load up the box a little bit more, put more pressure on the run game. And you know, at the end of the day, that's what hurt us. We didn't run the ball efficiently in the second half. And, you know, we have a lot of things that we create off the run game, and we just weren't able to do it. You know, he had a great first half, Dez did, you know, and the second half wasn't nearly the same. So, again, got to go back, look at the tape, see what the heck's going on, you know, why we weren't able to run the football. My guess is, too, you know, Tylen's not out there. And it takes a little, you know, the safeties can load the box then. So we took some shots down the field. At the end of the day, I mean, the shots down the field were the difference. We hit ours, we win. They hit theirs, they win, you know, and you know, turnovers beside it. So we just didn't hit enough chunk plays like they did. So it is what it is.
What makes the TCU defense tough? I mean, you knew coming in, you know, it was going to be a challenge regardless. You know, what makes them tough?
You know, like we talked about before the game started, I mean, they squeeze you. It's a very NFL-style game. You know, they're around every ball. It's a contested catch game. It's a combat catch, as we call it. You know, do you win the one-on-one battles? And we didn't win enough of them, you know, simple. So we tossed a bunch of chunk plays up there to see if we can hit some. And you know, we got a couple here and there, but not enough to win this game. And, you know, we certainly can't, you know, get penalties in scoring situations. That's the other part of the game that, you know, it just seemed like we got behind the sticks when we got to the red zone. You know, I looked at the stat sheet before we came in here, and hell, we're 2 of 5 in the red zone. That's not going to win very many football games. So we're down there, and then we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
Members of the media, if you have a question for Oklahoma State Offensive Coordinator Kasey Dunn, please click raise hand. Our first question is going to come from Scott Wright from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, Kasey, were there elements of the game plan that they took away from you today that you thought you'd have that weren't there for you?
Not really. You know, we felt like we were moving the ball when we came in at halftime. It was, you know, we were surprised that everything that was on the call sheet was actually hitting and working. You know, we made some mental mistakes and you know, just here and there. And again, it puts you behind the sticks. And when you play a good defense like that, then all of a sudden you're looking up at the scoreboard and you go, wow, this is a lot closer than you anticipated. So I felt like we were moving the ball. I felt like our offense was thinking, shoot, you know, this thing, we should have 24 points on the board right now at halftime. And, you know, we just didn't have it that way. And then in the second half, just didn't do much, you know. They took away the run game again, specifically how. I got to go back, look at the tape and see if it was just, you know, one-on-one, you know, matchup here or there. If they loaded the box, I know they got closer to the box, that's for sure, when Tylen was out. So it is.
Thank you.
Yep.
Our next question is going to come from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Kasey, how would you kind of evaluate Spencer today?
Ooh, that's a good one. You know, I think he did some good things at times. There were glimpses of, you know, really good plays, extending him with his feet, running the football and getting a couple first downs here and there for us. There were times, you know, that I know that, you know, we had a throw here and there that we need to make and help him out. You know, we had a couple of bombs early that we threw. And again, I mean, I can't say it enough. If we hit him, it's likely a different outcome. We didn't hit him, you know, and he put the ball out there. We got to make plays as receivers, you know, and there are probably a couple throws in there he'd like to have back too. We had some open guys that, you know, I mean, I'm sure he'd like to have those back. He'll see it on tape. So I think he played pretty well. I think he played well enough for us to win, certainly. And again, it just comes back to the red zone. We just didn't do it in the red zone. And, you know, I got to see what the heck the problem is.
Appreciate it, Kasey.
Yes, sir.
That'll do for questions. Coach, you have anything that was important or things that you'd want to discuss while we have the group here? Any points that you wanted to make?
No, I mean, I thought the effort was really good. You know, I think our offensive line is coming around. I think they showed that they were, you know, capable of you know, moving the football for us. And we did that in the first half. You know, we just didn't spin it into the second half like we anticipated. Again, we came back in at halftime and thought, okay, man, all this stuff is working. You know, let's go back out and rehash it again. And for whatever reason, we just missed those throws. And when we got our chances in the red zone, we just didn't capitalize. So, but I feel good about where we're headed. I'd sure love to be healthy. No question about that. And, I hope Tylen's okay.
Coach, thank you for your time. Safe trip home.
Sure, thanks.
Boy, Malcolm, there was a lot going on in that game. It was, you see huge plays on defense in terms of turnovers and plays like that, and then TCU would come back kind of with big counter punches, and I mean it was like heavyweight fights. Jabs. This is all haymakers going both ways. What was it like to play in a game like that today?
It's always fun going back and forth, but we got a couple stops, and then sometimes they would score. But Duggan, the quarterback, he's a good quarterback, so gotta give them props for making the plays at the end.
I mean, it's obvious you don't have to say anything about the injuries right now in the secondary. I think everyone can see, that we're down people there, but still you're in close games on the road. What does that say about the mentality of the defense that you're still making these plays even shorthanded?
We're going out there, throwing punches, being competitive, and Coach Knowles always saying, throw punches out there. And so, we're next man up. So, like Jabbar coming in, you just gotta comes at you fast, so you just gotta go out there and make some plays.
All right, members of the media, if you have a question for linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez, please click raise hand. Our first question is going to come from Barry Trammell from Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Malcolm, you guys created 5 takeaways. You also gave up a bunch of big plays. What's the balance in trying to make big plays for yourself but not allow so many big plays for the opposing offense?
No, we just gotta. Sometimes we slipped up at the end, and we just gave too many big plays up. So we gotta minimize those. And I mean, it's pretty much all to it.
You guys, just a few weeks ago, looked like headed for a special season, getting to the Big 12 championship. Those things. How disappointing is it to know that that's sort of out of your grasp?
We just gotta come in every week and just keep pushing forward.
Our next question is going to come from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Malcolm, what did you see on Brock's fumble return?
I stripped it out, then I was on the ground for a little bit, and I saw Brock pick it up. So I got back up, and I was going to block for him. And I was hoping he's going to get in, but he's kind of slow. But he ended up getting in somehow. So, props to Brock being his antenna up and looking for the ball and score.
He said he's never really had the ball in his hands, and he was holding his breath.
Yeah, he never really played offense at Uluga, so it was kind of weird. You can definitely tell he had a little rust on his wheels when he got the ball.
When you look at what TCU did today, what do you feel like you guys maybe missed on against their offense?
Just trying to get the quarterback down. I mean, he scrambled. We knew he was a good scrambler, and he just make plays on his feet. So he just throw balls up, and they'd come down with it. So just minimizing those plays like that.
Is there a lot of frustration when you get 5 turnovers and only 6 points?
No, we just keep going out there and doing our thing on defense.
Awesome. Thanks, Malcolm.
Malcolm, you have played a lot of snaps alongside Ogbongbemiga. He's kind of like your running mate for your career here. He set a school record today with 3 forced fumbles. Can you maybe just take us from your perspective? What kind of player is Eamon? What kind of teammate is he? Just tell us a little bit about him and kind of what he's become here during his career.
Eamon's a great dude. He puts it in for sure in that practice and film study. So, he goes out there, he makes plays, and we've known that. And he's always like keeping us to a higher standard. And so for him to go out there and have a career day like that, I mean, it's great. I mean, he was just on his P's and Q's today.
All right. While we have the group here, that'll do it for questions. But while we have the group, are there any points that you wanted to make or anything that you feel that's important that maybe we didn't cover?
All good.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Safe trip home.
Have a good one.
Coach, one of the questions for Malcolm was that this kind of felt like a game of haymakers. You know, you would throw haymakers as a defense, force some turnovers, making big plays, and then they would hit haymakers, big plays. What's it like to be in a game like that? And I mean, what did you see? What are the feelings that go through when you get in a game like this?
You know, that's big time college football. You know, very good program. The quarterback is a guy who just finds a way to make plays. And you're right. We were going blow for blow, and we just came up one short. So you feel great about your players and the effort that they gave, and you just feel terrible for them that they lost.
Ogbongbemiga today set a new school record with 3 forced fumbles. What do you see from him? What makes him so effective?
He understands the game. He studies the game. He's critical of himself. He wants to get better all the time, so he wants to take his game to a new level. He's always pushing to improve and just have a world of confidence in him and respect for him, the way he's led our team. And I'm glad he's got something for the record.
All right, members of the media, if you have a question for Oklahoma State Defense Coordinator Jim Knowles, please click raise hand. Our first question is going to come from Frank Bonner from the Tulsa World. Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Jim, when you lose 2 defensive backs the way you guys did today, how much of that changes your game plan in the second half of what you're trying to do defensively?
Yeah, it's definitely something that you have to consider when you're calling the defense. And you try to make up for that with some calls and some different things. It certainly doesn't put us at full strength, but, again, that's major college football. Things happen. The next guy up has to step up. And I thought the guys who came in competed. It was just a case of they made one more play than we did.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Barry Trammell from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
And Jim, what can you do to limit the big plays? You've created all those turnovers, but you also gave up a bunch of big plays. Is there anything you can do structurally?
It's just I think at times, you lose your stinger a little bit. There's a lot of one-on-one matchups all over the field, and those are situations that we had been succeeding at this year, and we had been gaining confidence. And I just feel like the last couple of games we took a step backward when it comes to the explosive plays. And it's tough. We're an aggressive defense. We're competing for the ball, and that's paying off. But you're right. You gotta look at each of those, and we talk about each of them with our team, and you just try to correct them. And I just got to find other ways to try to not allow that to happen.
All right, and our final question is going to come from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Jim, I imagine you're not emphasizing stripping the ball less than anyone else in the country, but is there a secret you guys have going right now, or what's going on there?
No, I don't think there's any secret to it. You're right. Everybody in the country emphasizes it. Now we do a little circuit every Tuesday, and we've been doing that, for the past year at least, if not year and a half. So, we go over and review the techniques of actually how to do it, at a slower pace to show them how to do it. But you're right. That's not so. Other people do that. I think what happens is, you get 1, 2, and you start to gain a lot of confidence. It's a confidence thing, and then that feeds on itself. That's all I can tell you since I've been around. Is you do the work and the due diligence to prepare and teach, and then when you get 1, 2, things start to roll, and guys have more confidence executing it, and going for it.
Thanks, Jim.
Coach, thank you so much. That'll do it for questions. Is there anything else important that you feel that we missed that should be discussed here as well as part of the game?
No, just that I'm proud of the guys, and we're going to get back to work and come out and play with our hair on fire next week.
Thank you. Amen. I know you, so I know this isn't going to matter much to you, but you set a school record today with 3 forced fumbles. I know that's not what you were looking for, but you've made your mark here in history. But we kind of had everybody else speak on it and talk about you a little bit. But what do you think made, as a collective group, you guys effective today in forcing turnovers?
I mean, we just try to change the game every single play. You know, no matter what happens on the other side of the ball, you know, we could always go out there and change the play, and change the game, change the narrative of the game, and that's been our mentality kind of the whole season. And it's come to light the last few weeks. The turnovers, you know, everybody's trying to get their own. You know, everybody's trying to get in on the turnover game. At the end of the day, it wasn't enough. You know, we had more to prove. We didn't hold them to win the game. So, you know, we still got to get back to work. You know, we got a lot more to work on. You know, we gave up way too many big plays. You know, we got to look ourselves in the mirror and, you know, really find who we are and re-identify, you know, who we want to be.
All right, members of the media, if you have a question for linebacker Amen Ogbongbemiga, please click raise hand. Our first question is going to come from Barry Trammell from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Amen, you said.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Hang on. I'm out.
Can you hear me?
No, it's noisy. They're basically just sitting out in a hallway in open space, Barry. So whenever anyone rolls a cart or something, it's impactful.
Okay. Go ahead, Barry.
Okay. You said you need to look yourself in the mirror and identify who you want to be. Are you guys different than you were a few weeks ago from who you want to be, either in performance or is it personnel or attitude? What's different now than when you were rolling about a month ago?
I mean, our mentality is to shut every single person out. You know, we allowed too many big plays these last few weeks, and that's been killing us. You know, we've obviously gotten a lot more turnovers, but we can't be allowing, you know, 60-yard plays down the field. That's how you lose games. So we got to stop, you know, allowing those to happen, and that comes to practice. That's come to, you know, watching film, you know, trusting our eyes and being disciplined, you know, playing the ball downfield or, you know, run fits. It was just, you know, you can't ever be proud of no performance when you lose. So we just got so much to work on, and everybody we got to come with their hard hat and realize, you know, look ourselves in the face. We lost that game as a defense, you know. It wasn't the coaches. The coaches were putting us in good positions. It's us as the players, you know, figuring out what we made of. And, you know, we just got to come to work, you know.
You guys appear to have lost your goals for the season, virtually eliminated from the Big 12 championship race. How disappointing is that? No, it's not going to work out.
No comment.
All right, Eamon, thanks for your time. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you.
Dez, obviously injuries are a factor on offense, especially at running back, and you are carrying a heavy workload here these last couple of games. First question is, how are you feeling? It's your second straight game with a lot of carries.
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling better than I did last game. I really thought I was going to be, you know, a little banged up a little bit, just running so hard how I've been and just taking all those hits. But, you know, I really felt fine today.
Okay. Members of the media, if you have a question for Oklahoma State running back Dezmon Jackson, please click raise hand. Our first question is going to come from Barry Trammell from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Dez, the running game was pretty effective in the first half, not much in the second half. What was the difference between the two halves and the way you guys were able to run the ball?
I think they adjusted well on TCU's defense by, you know, loading the box, you know, so they made it pretty difficult for us to run the ball how you want it. And, you know, those guys I really give credit to them. They had a really nice defense, and they gave us a little trouble in the second half.
Our next question is going to come from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Des, Kasey kind of wondered if maybe Tylen leaving the game with an injury kind of impacted the run game a little bit there late. How much did it impact when Tylen left the game?
Honestly, I didn't even know that Tyler had left the game. But we have a lot of weapons at receiver. So it's next man up. So I think our other guys handled it well.
What kind of frustrations were that the defense gets 5 turnovers and you guys can't score afterwards and kind of convert those into points?
Yeah, it was very frustrating. Our defense did a great job giving us the ball back, and unfortunately, we just couldn't capitalize. And I hate that because they worked so hard, on defense, and they got us the ball back. But we'll be fine. We just go back to practice, and we'll after that.
What did you think of Spencer today, too?
Spencer did a great job, I think. Running the ball and throwing the ball. He did such a good job, and that's one of our leaders, man. And really thankful he's our quarterback.
Did you know that you'd be the only running back to carry the ball today?
Kinda no, but if I needed a breather, I could have got one, but I just wanted to do all I could do for us today and win the game.
Thanks, Des.
That'll do it for questions. Des, before we let you go, is there maybe anything important to you that we didn't cover that you feel is important for people to know?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you taking the time, and have a safe trip home.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Des. Members of the media, that'll do it. That'll be our final interview, player and coach. So thank you so much. We appreciate you as always. Kevin, thank you also.